So I'm going to do an everyday makeup tutorial for you guys. I'm going to show you guys the products that I use and just kind of go through the motions. And then I'll post another video of, you know, how to. So basically I start off with a primer. You can use pretty much any primer that fits your skin. So I got the Wet n Wild Matte Face Primer. I've been using a retinol, so my face is a little bit dry, so this helps make my face not so dry and my makeup not so harsh on my skin. So then you take your Everyday Beauty blender, and I use the Kat Von D Lock It foundation. I put this foundation all over my face, basically as a base for the rest of my makeup that I'm going to cake on. I use the Kat Von D Lock It foundation because I have a really oily skin, and this kind of makes it not so oily, and it's long lasting, 24 hours. You get it at Sephora. And then I take my concealer stick, and this is what I'm going to use to conceal under my eye, the tip of my nose, all the way up to my forehead. And then I kind of bring it down on the outside of my nose, on my chin, and above my lip. The concealer stick that I use is the Sephora No Mistake, Make No Mistake Foundation and Concealer Stick in the color Bamboo. I just ate a Slim Jim. I know my foundation looks a little bit too light for my skin, but that's because I like to do a lot of bronzing. Everybody does their makeup differently, so I don't think there's a right or wrong way. Okay. And then to contour, I do the Fenty Beauty in Mocha. And I go just right under my cheekbones. On the sides of my nose. Everyone thinks I've had a nose job, but no, I just contour the hell out of this thing. And then around my forehead. And I create a shadow under my chin. Basically give me a, doesn't show my double chin. And I use the same beauty blender for everything, just so it all evens out. And you just blend. And then I like to go in and blend all of my face. Then, after you got all your liquid on, I use the Too Faced Peach Perfect. It's a mattifying loose setting powder, and I basically just set and bake my whole face. And it smells so good. It smells like peaches, and it kind of tastes like peaches too. I always put it in the lid. And then I take a sponge or a wedge and I basically set my whole face. I'll go under my eye, along my nose, basically everywhere you put your light is where you're going to put your setting powder. And I also like to set like the lids of my eyes just because it will put my eyeshadow on evenly. And then I like to set my nose. So basically everywhere you put your light concealer is where you're going to put your powder. And then I also like to go in and kind of just blend it all together. Just so there's no weird marks or lines. And this is just what I like to do. This probably isn't the correct way, but this is how my face is the way it is. So then I like to completely let my face just sit. And I'm going to use my everyday eyeshadow palette, which is, it's a Tarte palette. It's one of their like special, you know, like limited whatever, but it's like a really cute kit. Is what it looks like. I always go in and I do a light color. I mix these two and I go all over my eye. And I just like to take a big brush. Doesn't have to be a name brand one. This is from e.l.f. It's actually a flawless concealer brush, but I use it for my eyeshadow. So you basically just take a light color and dust it all over. And then my everyday makeup look is I just like to use like a nude, a brownie nude color. So I'm going to be using Whirl. It's this one right here. As you can tell, that's the one I always use. And I just like to put it in my crease. And I just like to blend it all the way around. It just gives me kind of like a natural eye, not too much effort. And then I like to go on the, I don't really like to do eyeliner because I just want it to look a little natural. So I just go in. This is a micro smudge brush. And I just take like a darker brown and I go under my eye, which will give me like a kind of a smoky under eye. But I just prefer not to use eyeliner just so it looks a little bit more natural. I'm getting older. I try to just do natural looks. Unless I'm out thoughting and plotting. I have my eyebrows microbladed, so I don't really have to do much to them. But I just brush them out. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. It's a pomade in the color Ebony. And I just like to fill in my eyebrows. And you can use any eyeliner brush, eyebrow brush. And I just go literally where my eyebrows are. I don't really have to do much to them, luckily, now that I have them microbladed. And a good way to see if your eyebrows are even is to take your brush and see this one needs to be filled in a little bit more. And you just lay it across to see if they match. So now that my eyes are done, my contour's done, my setting powder's done, I go in and I take just a all over face brush and I just dust off my setting powder. I like to go in with like a face powder. I'm using Neutral Toffee in the Sephora Matte Perfection Powder Foundation. So I like to go in and kind of bronze up my face because obviously it looks a little bit too white. And I literally just put it where I put my contour. Then I like to bring it down just to even everything out so it doesn't look like I have lines. Go on the edges of my nose and under my chin to create that shadow. Then I like to go in with a powder contour palette. which I use the NYX, the 3-step sculpt, and I use the dark color. And I like to just darken up my contour to make it a little bit more defined. And then I take a little powder brush and kind of just define my nose out. I literally probably only use like 4 brushes. Like, I love to be a bargain shopper, and if I can get multiple purposes out of one thing, that's what I like to do. So I'm going in with my eyeshadow brush that I put all over my eye, and I'm taking the light, the highlight, and I'm going under where my contour is, just to make it more defined on the tip of my nose. And then I just like to add it where I want there to be some highlight. And then I like to let that sit for a second while I put my blush on. My everyday blush that I use is the Fenty Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. And this is a trick I've always done ever since I was a little kid. I don't know why. I like to take my blush and put it at the tip of my nose, on my chin, and then on my forehead. Not like just the leftover that's on the brush. I don't really like to put pink on the tip of my nose, but it kind of just gives it that little highlight. So now that I have my blush on, I just go in and kind of blend everything together. And then you just take your highlighting brush. Don't know where I got this one from, but I use it pretty much every single day. And the highlight that I'm going to use today is, let's see. Oh my gosh. So in this Milani Gilded Desires palette that has this really pretty like champagne colored highlights. This whole palette was like $17. And this is my everyday highlight. Literally had it in my lap. And I just like to go under my eyes, above my lip, on my chin, and the tip of my nose. And then I like to go in and just blend it because this is an everyday look. So now that I have everything on, I just go in and do my mascara. And the mascara I use is, I just got it from a VMA party. It's the new Revlon Volumizing. And I don't like to put much mascara on because I have eyelash extensions and it's not good for my extensions. But I just like to darken them up a little bit. And I always do the bottom lashes. Go on my lipstick bag. I'm just going to use Bittersweet by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's kind of like a brownie color. I'm big into like browns and neutrals, so. And it kind of gives my look, it kind of brings it all together. This is a little dark, but just to finish off my makeup. Also, having like really dark lipstick makes your teeth look really white. So, this is my everyday makeup look. I'm hoping to do like a lot more tutorials that are like edited and really high quality and good. But I wanted to post one for you guys because you guys have been requesting it. So, here it is. This is just my everyday makeup look. And I gotta answer all these text messages that keep coming in. So thank you guys so much. You guys have an amazing day.